that I should delete a lot of those recordings. So as I was saying that tonight we'll be talking about there are different types of markets in the financial market. We have three basic type of markets. We have the trending market. Don't mind me. Remaining there is trending. Trending. We have trending markets. We have sideways markets. We have choppy markets. And each of these markets have different strategy of trading them. Whether you are trading, want to adopt a strategy for trading in a trending market, or you want to develop a trading plan or strategy for sideways markets. Choppy markets is a no-go area because now scatter markets, it does not have any definite structure. No, not that you don't have anything. The structure is not clear to be able to give you a good entry and exit point, because the essence of getting to know these types of markets and identifying them is that it helps you to know the right entry point and the right exit point. Know how to enter, you must have a way to be able to identify how to get out. So in this trending market, we now have two types called the downward trends and the upward trend. This trending market has two types called the downward trends and the upward trend. So tonight we are going to only be talking about the downward trend and the upward trend. We're talking about this one later. So the general statement that we use in financial market is that the market is not your friend. The market is not your friend. The market is not your friend. The market is a war zone. It's a war zone. So it's a competition ground. You want to make money, somebody want to make money too. So not only you that want to go and make money, there are diamond hands, and there are what's the other name they call them? Oh, diamond hands and what's the name of this term? Oh, weak ends. There are weak ends in the market, and there are diamond hands in the market. There are institutional players and there are retail market traders in the market. There are scalpers in the market, and there are scalp traders in the market. There are swing traders in the market. There are day traders in the market. So the market is filled with different kind of people that they are there to make money. It's like my father in the Lord says something that the world is like fish eat fish to get fat. Fish eat fish to get fat. In the jungle too, the market is like a jungle. So if you don't know how to enter the jungle without being eaten alive, that's why there's a lady that she does not ever follow my meeting. She's an ace to make money, and before she once even told me that if I didn't make so money so time, our body right, I say chuke. What you don't know what you have in your end. I don't make so money by so time. I know I would have put my money in the what do you call that market self? This stock market or treasury bill. You are in a hurry to make money. You are not ready to put your ear. You are not ready to be patient to learn. You must learn how to use the bots, learn how the crypto market works. So market is not our friend, it's a war zone, it's a jungle, it's a competition ground, it's like a sport ground. Some people are there to win, and some are there, they must lose. So today we want to now identify how you can be able to identify trends, and there are tools that can help you to identify trends, and there are ways you can manually identify those trends. So let me quickly go to a short video that we'll watch for tonight. If I now call Mr. Yomi to come and give us his training, and what I want him to do for tonight is to teach us. We will look for 2 coins for us to analyze for us. It's already on how you should analyze those coins. Give us like 2 coins to trade because some of our trades are about to deliver. So let me play this sound and let me know whether we can hear it. Please, did you hear the sound? And are you seeing my camera, my video?
The sound is not coming out yet.
Please, did any other person hear the sound? Please type 5 in the chat.
No sound, no sound.
No sound.
No sound. Okay, this is what I will do. Let me give room for, because that means I need to download that video. Let me give room for Mr. Olivia Soto. Okay, before that, let me give room for Crypto Professor to give us the outcome of today's CPI news. While I download that video, please. Crypto Professor, please. And Crypto Professor, please prepare for Friday. Prepare for Friday. So please give us the outcome of today's fundamental news that you give us on Sunday. Crypto Professor, unmute your mic. Is it not there? Maybe his network is not good though. I don't know why this thing is not playing. Okay, if it's not getting the sound right. Before I continue, do you have any question so that I can use that time to be able to download this video?
Hello, sir. Good evening, sir. Yes, sir. We are talking about when one coin is about to be delisted.
Okay.
Then you measure that session that one can migrate to input, automatically input those settings on the RoyalQ to that external exchange. But you did not complete the statement. I mean, you didn't explain very well.
Okay, please let me put it in. I'm downloading the video.
I'm back, sir. Sorry.
You come up over again. I think I've done the video. See, I think I've been doing all this thing before. I don't want this video. I don't want our training to be too long tonight. I beg. See, this is what you would do. When a coin has been delisted, is about to be delisted. Like some people that I know that they want to delist Porter, Ray. Oh, I'm not showing my screen. They want to delist Porter. Delisting a coin is not the end of the coin. Please, if you are seeing my screen now, please somebody to talk. Hello, are we seeing my screen?
Yeah, your screen is showing.
So anyway, first and foremost, what we need to first need to do is to apply risk management first. That's why anybody that joins the group now, I always send the top 20 to 30 coins they need to focus on. Any layer one blockchain coin, they can really, because they have their own blockchain, they have their own technology, and they have their native coin, and they are not tokens. Any other cryptocurrency that does not have its own blockchain, it has tendency of being delisted. So, but if you're already in a coin that's about to be delisted, what you are supposed to do is this: enter into the coin. I pray that this coin will crash back to 0.0003. I will now re-enter. So what we do is that first thing you need to do is that you need to first go to, like, okay, let me use the example of people that are in a portal that is about to be listed. Go to CoinMarketCap. CoinMarketCap is a platform where all the coins in the market, if you want to research about them, go there. Go to the search icon up, then tap the coin that's about to be delisted. Then go and check which other exchange is this coin being traded. So like that portal is about to be listed, let me click it. Then go up to markets. You will see the other exchanges where this coin is being traded. You can see that Binance is the only exchange that most of these coins always get high daily volume of trade. On Binance, it has 3.92 million volume of trade today. But go and check other exchange, 1.1, 1.1. Okay, it's on Binance USF. Okay, it's on Binance with this pair, with Troy. It's paired with Troy. So it's on Bybit. Okay, Portal is on Bybit. It's on Mexi. It's on Gate.io. It's on KuCoin. So the first thing you do is that you put the trade on your RoyalQ. You will not transfer it via the chain where this coin is. You can send it through. Send it to either Mexi, Gate.io, or KuCoin, or Bybit. And the thing that you are sending it to, make sure that you are already verified there. So the moment it entered that other exchange, after you have connected your RoyalQ with that exchange, then you transfer that coin to that exchange. Then you now enter the coin. You know this coin is already posted. You will now click strategy migration. It will not show you migration strategy. Then click confirm. Even before you even send it to any exchange, please do this. So first click this migrate first. After you have paused, if you don't pause, it won't allow you to do this migration. Read all these things. The migration process will be completed within 30 minutes. During this time, trade setting and strategy will be inaccessible. Ensure that the crypto balance is transferred from the old exchange. So if say you have 100,000 units of that coin in your Binance, when you are transferring to the other exchange, it must not be less than 100,000. Because as you are transferring it from Binance, they will charge you. It will be lesser than what it was on Binance. So make sure you even put extra on top. When you even get to the other exchange, just buy $5 worth of that quantity back, so that it must be even more than what you are transferring from. That's what they said in number 3. In number 4, they said that the trading logs and records that was in that your RoyalQ Binance section, all those records will be disappear. Then make sure that you have connected your RoyalQ with the exchange, then click confirm. So don't migrate first. First go and check the exchange to where this coin is being traded. So you can see that Nero can only be migrated to ATS exchange and Mexi. So don't transfer to any exchange first until you confirm which exchange you can transfer to. So here now it's only ATX and MXC that I can send the coin to, buying RoyalQ to it. Then the moment you have done that, just click this migrate, leave the rest to the bot. It will migrate out your setting to that new exchange and it will continue trading from there. It will not, so that's not the end of your trade if your coin is down or it has been listed, I mean. So let's continue to the main topic for today. So today we are talking about learning candlestick. Learning candlestick. I've done it though. Sorry. Right now. Okay, use it. So if you are hearing, tell me.
Good morning, and today is another blessed
Did you hear the sound?
Sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
yes.
So let us continue. This is especially for those new people in RoyalQ. This training is very important. Very important. So please pay attention. This is the number one thing you need to first check when you want to trade. Check the trend of that coin. So let's pay attention. Let's continue.
It is the 30th of August 2022, and yesterday we were able to learn how to sort our coins from those that are performing well to those that are performing poorly. All right, and you can also do vice versa, from those that are performing poorly to those that are performing well. All right, and we see how we can be able to win. So today we want to change our focus and our plan to basically now look at understanding the hacking ash candles. These are some of the candles that we are looking at to become our strategy. There are so many strategies people can use to trade, but I say find one that works for you, stick to it. Alright, so understanding the hacking ash candles is our main topic for today, and basically we're gonna see the basics we need to look at. The hacking ash candles, these are Japanese candles, and they keep a trend. I usually say that a market is very volatile, and market volatility is not a friend to anyone, but market trend can be our friend. So if we can learn how to understand the market trends before we even talk about any indicator, then we are on a safe side to be able to enter the market at the right time, because we also need to understand as one-shot traders that trading is timing. So if we can time the market at the right time, we can be able to win amazingly, incredibly from the market. Now let's talk about our market trend. So first and foremost, the hacking ash candles form green candles. The hacking ash candles, they form green candles. All right, when I talk about green candles, I mean that they form candles. If you could see here, they form candles that are flat at the bottom with a wick at the top, and this implies for you that this will be an upward trend. Okay, I hope that is clear. Now let's look at when do they confirm you that there's going to be a downward trend. These hacking ash candles, they form they form red candles that are flat at the top, with a wick at the bottom, and this confirms you that the market is going to go down specifically. Okay, now we want to learn about another important indicator that is very key, that I want you to put your focus, and this indicator is what we call this specific indicator is the indicator we call the doji, and like you see in your screen there. Now what is a doji? A doji is an indicator, ladies and gentlemen. Like you hear the word doji, the doji is an indicator. You see sometimes it's a plus. You see here there are two dojis form like there. Sometimes it has a little body, and these dojis, if they are formed in a trend, like I'm going to show you a trend, it means if it was a downward trend, it's going to become an upward trend. So if you see it, then you prepare to enter the market. All right, so having described, our main focus of today's call is the ability and the power for everybody to discover a downward trend as one of our strategies that we are going to be using. Okay, so it is very important, ladies and gentlemen, for us to identify what you call this is purely a downward trend. Hope anyone can see that it's a downward trend. So you need to go through the market. So when you find a downward trend, your ability and power to identify a downward trend, it doesn't matter whether in a 1 hour time frame or in a 2-hour time frame or into a 30 minutes time frame. You need to learn the art of identifying a downward trend. So I'll take this example. If someone was trading CRV, when is the right time to join CRV? Maybe you saw it from here. You're going to tap on the pencil and tap on a trade line. You pick the highest point. It could be this one, it's up to you, or you could choose this one. It may not be so perfect. Right, let me choose this one. And this is the higher high, and then you touch the lower low, this lowest point here. So it means in this scenario, you have identified that this small portion here, there was a downward trend. And if you will follow our next video, by the way, this one is very short. It's one of the shortest videos, because its goal is just for you to understand the Hacking Ash candles, which we have been able to look at, and be able to look for a downward trend. That is the only thing you need to learn. So you could see, if we could go to putting in the indicators at the last stage, because I'll talk about them after identifying my downward trend, then I'll look for a green candle. Okay, so you can identify downward trend. I can basically pick one of the longest downward trends, which all of you can see very well. This downward trend that began all the way from here. This was a pure downward trend, and it basically ended close to there. All right. Now, after I've seen my downward trend, in the near future, like you are going to see in these particular trades that we're going to look at, I'll then play part of our indicators that you're going to learn. Basically, we're going to just apply just 2 more indicators that I'm going to explain. These 2 indicators, that will be the stochastic RSI in just a few days from now, and the volume analysis indicator. And I'll basically now bring in my trade lines that you will be able to learn to use. So you go through your trade lines, find the vertical line, have it, find the horizontal line, have it for yourself. All right. Then I'll basically bring my horizontal line. I'm just showing you what you're going to learn in the future. Then I'll find a green candle. As simple as that. I'll find a green candle. And this green candle that I'm finding must have some specifics. Julius, what are those specifics you are trying to talk about? These are only 3 specifics that I'll look at. Basically, I'll look at a yellow bar, which is there. I'll look at what can I say? The blue stochastic RSI above the orange, and also a green candle. And after I've learned that, after I have been able to see that, then I'll bring in my horizontal line, which you're going to learn, right? Draw where the candle closes from, and draw my second horizontal line where the downward trend started from, which is basically around this area. And so when I go down on this area where we have the prediction and measurement area, and I pick my price range, I'll measure from the first horizontal line, that is gentlemen, to the upper horizontal line, which gives me 18%. Now it's up to you, all right? After you have identified the trend, it's up to you to say that I will take, let me say 7%, which it has delivered now, or I'll still keep into my trade and maybe stop around here, 12%, or I keep into my trade up to here, or I'll remain here. And that is the trading sequence we are trying to talk about at the end of these 10 days. So what is the main topic for today, ladies and gentlemen? The main topic for today is you to basically and purely go to your watch list. The main topic for today is basically and purely go to your watch list and build into finding a downward trend. Like you see here on IPC, if you can wait for 3 to 4 days, I hope you can see it here. If I had just to show you what I've done the other side, just to show you what happened in the history. This is a green Heikin-Ashi candle, which all of you can see very well. So I draw my vertical line, then I draw my horizontal line from where the candle closes from, which is there basically. Then I draw my second line where the downtrend started from, which is basically here. And these lines are basically on this type of a trade that have been there. Then I pick my price range, the price range. Then I press my dot where the first horizontal line started from, which is basically here, to where the downtrend started, and this trade has delivered 9%. What you need to do is just remain patient. It has delivered 9.7%. So we can basically, what I want us to emphasize today, what I want us to talk about today is identifying a downward trend, because basically if you don't learn the art of identifying the downward trend, ladies and gentlemen, you'll find that this session may not work for you, because you can see this was a downward trend, then an upward trend. So we want to have the art of identifying a downward trend. It's the main lesson for today. Okay, it is the main lesson for today, because if you identify the downward trend, then the rest of everything will be very, very simple for you. All right, so it is important. Let me remove off all the indicators, because these we are going to apply after everybody who's following these videos. You are able to have the art of identifying a downward trend. As simple as that. There is no art, there is no physics, there is no chemistry here. As possible, you can see with your naked eyes that this was a downward trend. Identify where it started from and where it ended. Then you wait for a green candle. I'm not saying you start trading, because some of you maybe you feel like you want to start trading. You are not. Nobody can ever finish the money into the market space. So our goal is to identify a downward trend. That's the main topic. So you can identify a downward trend, and if you, I usually say that the main thing to understand in this world is the market is very volatile and it's unfriendly. But a trend, I want to repeat, but a trend. So if you can basically go down, if you can identify a downward trend like this one, this was a sweet downward trend. But even though this downward trend happened, you can see this was a sweet downward trend.
Warning.
You may take halfway the trend or wait, because as long as you wait, this downward trend will always deliver. So what I'm trying to, ladies and gentlemen, talk about is you having the ability to identify a downward trend from where it started to where it ended. And so that can be purely done by using a trend line. A trend line is one of those amazing indicators you can use. And also, what I could talk about, let me talk about another trade line. So once you come on trade lines, there are so many. One I would love to talk about is the flat bottom. So this applies when the market is going up. So you pick the lower low, which is that point in that area where the market went to its lowest point. Make sure you draw a straight line, and as you draw the line, it has one or two touches. Then you tap once. You tap once. Then this becomes a flat bottom. Now, why do you draw such an indicator? You want to make sure that if this particular coin you are trading closes above your trend, and forms a candle above your trend, it means it has retested it. It means now it's going to be an upward trend. So learning the art of creating trends, because we need to understand that the market volatility is not in our favor, but a trend is in our favor. Because if I understand from here that this is going to be an upward trend, I'll trade comfortably than me just getting into the market like a gambler. All right, so understand the market trend. It is very, very important. But the trend I want you to identify, the art that I want you to identify is the art of a downward trend. If you can discover that this is a downward trend, I'll be happy, because now my next few lessons are going to be sweet and nice for you. You don't need to learn a lot. You don't need to become an expert. You don't need to become an analyzer. Can you see with your naked eyes? Even before I draw a trade line, this market started from here and came down up to here. Can you be able to see that? If you can be able to see that, so you wait for a green candle to close. We are going now to add in more indicators that help you to know when to get into the market. But can you discover a downward trend? I'm not looking at anything else. I'm not talking about analyzing anything else. I'm just talking about a downward trend. Now, like I usually say, there are so many things that people talk about into the crypto space, but this is my say: you find a strategy that works for you and you stick to it. And the strategy I'm talking about here is identifying a downward trend, either in the 4 hours time frame, or either in the 1 hour time frame. And we are using the hacking ash candles. So see you next in our next video. This is talking about just identifying a trend and the hacking ash candles, where we have seen that the red candle form flat at the top with the wick at the bottom to confirm downward movement, and the green candle, they form flat at the bottom with the wick at the top. So if you can identify a downward trend, then when I will talk about tomorrow, I'll talk about 2 indicators. I'll talk about the settings of the volume.
So let me stop here. Now, after watching this video, don't go and rush to start going and practicing it. Because there are so many factors that you need to consider before you start trading. Now, professional traders, we always use, I even call myself a professional trader. Am I a professional trader or amateur? Anyway, the tool that we always use is the trading view. And it needs training to be able to use it. I've done training in the past on how to use the trading view. I've done the training in the past. So even if you don't have that trading view, you can still use your RoyalQ app. Although with RoyalQ app, you cannot be able to draw trend lines, draw horizontal line. I know maybe one day, they will develop that portion on the chart of each coin to be able to draw, because a real professional trader must draw horizontal line, vertical line, trend line to be able to identify key areas in the chart. Now, as Kamada said, that's my mentor, was one that simplified technical analysis for me, and from there, I have built myself by practicalizing it over and over, and I've kept on studying. There's so many things to learn in my voice sounding. Are we hearing my voice? Yes, now.
Yes.
So there are many things to learn in technical analysis. So there are so many things. So that's where I have to simplify it by taking it one by one. So if you don't know how to set up your trading view, you can still use your RoyalQ by going to the home section, then click this 24-hour change, then tap it to arrange the coin according to the most negative. The moment, if you are used to checking coins, you will discover that that's the way I view market. The moment I click, I rearrange those coins according to the most negative and to the most positive. The moment I see that most of the coins that I want them to be read are having low negative value. To me, those coins are not really in downward trend. Anytime you see that the moment as I change now, discover that most of the coins, the negative is not that much. You will see that we will confirm what I just said now. Most of those coins might not be in real downtrend. Because when a coin has very high negative, it might have more downward trend. Let's pick the first one. And when you now want to analyze your trade, to identify your trend, first go and check the daily charts. Even start on the weekly charts. Now, on the weekly charts, are we seeing a downward trend around this area? If it's a downward trend, type D on the 1 week chart. Type D if it's a downward trend. And type U if it's an upward trend. You must be able to have the ability to identify it the moment you sight it. Type D if it's a downward trend, and type U if it's an upward trend. There's only one person that is typing. That means what I've been saying all this while we don't understand. Okay, now the next thing is, because that's the first thing you must always do when you want to trade. You must go analyze your trade on the higher time frame first. Lower time frame is noise. Go to the higher time frame. Now, people that use 1 week charts to trade, they are ready to be in a trade for a long time. But people that use lower time frame like 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 5 minutes, they are scalpers. They want to just enter coin very fast, take 1% and get out. But if you check the daily chart of this coin, can we say that this coin is on a upward trend or a downward trend? So when you want to check if a coin is on a downward trend or an upward trend, just check the candlestick, the closest candlesticks formations. Just look at the closest one here. Is this an upward trend or a downward trend? Type U if it's an upward trend, and type D if it's a downward trend. Yes, it's an upward trend. So this coin now, it has tendency of if you go and enter a coin that's on an upward trend, it means you are entering the coin at the highest price, and you can come down, your money will just be depreciated. Now let's go to the 4-hour chart. The 4-hour chart, is it on a downward trend or an upward trend? I need an answer. Just type U if it's upward trend. Type D if it's a downward trend. Type U if it's upward. Type D if it's downward. It's an upward trend. So this kind of coin, you cannot enter. D is upward trend. Then on 4 hours is a downward trend. It's an upward trend. So you can't enter this coin. So that's why when you want to send signal, I keep on searching. But I say way you can trade upward trend though. But that one is an advanced training. But for a newbie, simplify your trading by looking for a coin that's on a downward trend. The downward the trend, the better for you. The downward the trend, the better for you. So I told us that the moment I saw that most of the negatives are very low, that most of them will be upward trend. So it will be very, very difficult to trade this coin. Okay, this one is slightly downward. but I'm not comfortable with the way it is because don't let me go too advanced. So this coin can still come and retest this place. Let me go and check the previous support levels. You can come and retest these key support levels. You can come and retest this place. So it's not too down for my own liking. So I'll run away from this. So me, I won't enter this coin. It's not having a good downward trend. So those are the things you need to check. So you keep on checking until you see a perfectly formed downward trend. This is no way. Go run away. Don't enter. JST. Run away. Can't enter this coin. So I think I saw one coin and like this deck C. So let me ask this question now. Is this coin on a downward trend or an upward trend? I'm asking, is it a downward trend or upward trend? Mr. Aziz is giving me another trend. It's not sideways, though. If you do not understand this simple identification of whether downward or
No,
upward.
that one was for another one, not for this one. I thought it went the other one that you said we should run away from.
Okay. So this is a downward trend. This is a downward trend. And even the last candle, the green candle is like a pin bar. Don't let me go advance, please. So this is a downward trend. And downward trend always have swing points or points called lower high and lower low. So if there's another tool on TradingView that can help you to, when you put that tool on your chart, it will tell you to easily identify if you don't know how to use trend line. Like professional traders, they use trend line to draw. They will draw it from the highest points. And when you are drawing the trend line, it must touch at least 2 or 3 points as well as drawing that. If you don't know how to draw that line, there's an indicator that can help you. When you input that indicator on TradingView, when it show you that one, let me teach us that one. Upward trends always have higher high and higher low. Higher high, higher low. Just memorize that one. And downward trend always have, this one is lower high, lower low. This is another lower high, lower low. This lower high, is lower low. That's what characterizes a downward trend. What do you mean by that? A downward trend coin also has highs and lows, but because it's a downward trend, its high is higher low, not higher high. So here, no, it's lower. This one is lower high, lower low. I hope I'm even correct. I hope I know what I'm saying. So don't let me go too forward. Maybe in the next training, I will emphasize. Right. No, don't let me rush. Let me go to in the next training. I will teach us. I don't want us to ingest too much information that it will not get too complicated. So let me stop here. We're able to identify how you can identify downward trend and upward trend. So let me stop here because of our time. Our time is fast spent. Let me click if Mr. Yomi is still available. Because I know he must have his own program. So let me stop here to give him a chance. So let us appreciate him. Let's type a fire chat icon in the comment section to appreciate him because it's his time. So let's appreciate him as he come. Let's give him some emojis, power emojis as he comes. So over to you, sir. Let me stop my screen sharing. Now let us hear what he has for us tonight. Let me make him a co-host. So over to you, sir.
All right, sir. Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Remi Aribalusi, for giving me this opportunity. I don't take it for granted. I also want to say that I've learned so much from you, especially from this crypto. You're somebody that you are a very selfless guy. You teach people, you give what you know selflessly. That's an amazing character that you have. And for people like you, I know that the sky is the starting point. You are an amazing person. There's no time anybody has any issue that you don't come to people's aid to help. That's an amazing character that you have, sir. So I want to appreciate you for that, and thank you so much for all that you do for us in the group. So
welcome, sir.
I just want to quickly, what I wanted to talk about, most of it has actually been talked about, but I'll still say it, talk about it in my own way. Can I share my screen?
Yes, I've made a call, sir.
Okay. So I'm just going to say some things, when I wanted to start trading, I was looking for something that would show me what, can you see my screen?
Let me check.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
All right. So I'll just share how I started. I started in 2006, and I was looking for something that would actually make money for me, and I didn't want to invest my money in something that I'm doing kalu in code. So I wanted something that would be able to tell me exactly, or at least 80% of what is going to happen in the market. And I ran into what is called price action. So when you're trading, in any financial market, the major thing you need to know is price action. Believe you me, if you know price action, every other thing is just going to be peanuts to you. So I'm going to quickly say something about price action. I listed some things that I wanted to talk about. I don't know if I'll have time to talk about everything, but I'll try as much as possible to run through them. So I wanted to talk about price action, support and resistance, trend lines, Fibonacci, and harmonics. I might not be able to go through everything, but I'll try my best. So when you're talking about price action, we have been talking about uptrend and downtrend. Let me just show you the easiest way to identify an uptrend and a downtrend. So now, let's say that price starts from this point. It goes up and it comes down.
Your screen is blank, oh. It's blank.
It's blank. Oh,
It's
we
blank.
can't see.
Oh, okay. Let me go to trading view. Can you see this screen?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll use trading view then. So now, price action. Let's say, for example, in an uptrend, we want to identify an uptrend. Let's assume price starts from here and it goes up to these points. No, that's an uptrend. We can see that price is going up. Now, let's say that price now comes back down like this. What we have here at this particular point, can you see the X, where I'm pointing the X to? The plus sign.
Yes.
Okay, so where that plus sign is our high. So now, let's say price gets here and now keeps going up and gets to this point. You can see that this particular high has been broken and price is now here. Price is no longer here. Price has gotten to this place. So now if price now does this, this is what again? This is another high. So we have a high and a higher high. And we have price coming down. Now, if price starts going up again and does this, and we have this again, we have what? How many highs here now? 1, 2, 3 highs. This is an uptrend. So an uptrend makes what? Higher highs, and these are the lows, higher lows. So now, that is an uptrend. Simple as ABC. You don't need to even add anything to it. If this one if this uptrend now is going to change to a downtrend, what you will see is this. This is a low. Sorry, let me delete this. Now, this is a low here, right? So what we will see, if this trend is going to stop going up, you will see price do this. So when price does this, you can see that this low has now been broken. We have a lower low. And we said that in an uptrend, we should be having what? Higher lows and higher highs. But now we have a lower low. That tells me something, that price is about to change from being an uptrend to a downtrend. So what we will now see is that price might now do this and keep coming down. So now we now have a low and a lower high. This high is lower than this. So this tells me now that price has changed from what? An uptrend, and is now coming to a downtrend. I will show you exactly what happened here. Let me see. I'll show you what happened in BTC here. Though people will think, okay, now let's see. This is now what I just said now. This is a low here. Price got to this point, came back down, went up, broke this high here, and we have a new high. It came down a bit, went up again, broke this high here. So we have this high is higher than, this high here is higher than this, and this high over here is higher than this. So this tells me that from here to here is an uptrend, up to this point, because we have this high higher than this high. So that is simply the way you identify an uptrend. We can now see that. Now, let's look at the lows. We can see this is a low here. This is not a perfect low, but we can just call it a low. We can see a low here. We can see this particular point. We can see this particular point. And we can now see that this particular point here and this particular point is the same. That is also telling me something else. It's also telling me that price is no longer going up. It has formed a double bottom and is going where? It's going sideways. It's going sideways. Now, it now went up, gave me another high. If you remember in the group, this particular point, I said that I got into the trade around this particular point. I went long in this particular point. Why did I go long? Because price was giving me, higher highs and higher lows. It got here, it gave me a high here, higher than this particular point, right? So that tells me that since we have a new high here, price is most likely, and this low did not break this low. I hope I'm not confusing. If I'm confusing, please let me know. I don't want to go.
I'm joined.
All right. So now we can see that this high here is higher than this high. And we can see that this low here is higher than this low. That tells me something. It tells me that price is still going up. So that's what made me draw this trend line. And how do you draw the trend line? I will show you now. So what I did was that you just come here and pull your line from the lowest low here. You pull it to touch the next low and you pull it up. You just make it touch the next low and you just extend it. That's how to draw a trend line. You connect the first low, the second low, and you just pull it to wherever you want it to go to. That's the trend line. So you can now see that price formed a bullish engulfing candlestick here on 1 hour time frame. But what I did was that I went to 30 minutes and I saw it clearly. Look at it here. This is it. I saw the bullish engulfing clearly here. So what did I do? I got in at the break of this particular point that the cross is. I placed a buy order there. I bought at market price and I placed my stop loss below this line here. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why now. So when I did that, how do you get your target? If you remember, I sent a video that my target was hit. One thing about trading is that you have tools to show you, where markets will go. And if you know how to use these tools to your advantage, you will make money in Forex. So how did I know that price will get here? Because when I took the trade from here, you know, who would have known that price will get here? So how did I know? I used a tool called the Fibonacci. Now, the Fibonacci consists of various support and resistance levels. You draw it from the bottom here to the top. So now, these are the levels of Fibonacci. I'm going to expand it so that we see the levels very well. So now, these are the levels of Fibonacci. You can see 1, 0.886, 0.736, 0.707, 0.618. All these levels are very, very important. Now, we'll see that from this point, sorry, I made a mistake. You're supposed to draw it from here. From this particular point. So now, and you pull it to the top. You know, when I drew this particular side from here, from this line here, up to this point, we're not there. Everything from this green candle to this point had not happened when I drew the line. So what I did was that you look for price went up, where the lowest low to where price went up, and the retracement to the trend line where I entered. That's where you draw it. So you draw it from this low here to the top of the trend. Then you look at where this point is. Where is this point? This point is at 0.786. So when price goes up, right, and you draw your trend and you draw your Fibonacci, and you see price retrace to 0.786, 0.707, or 0.886, your target is going to be, I'll show you, your target is going to be 1.272. You need to know all these things. So I will employ all of us to please study Fibonacci. I will send it to the group once we are done with the training. Go and study Fibonacci levels. Very, very important in trading. It has been used for many years, and they obey certain levels or certain points in trading. So what I'm going to do now is, so since I've identified that this what do you call it? This bullish engulfing candlestick pattern was on 0.786. So you will now delete this. How do I know that price is going to come here? So you go back to the Fibonacci again. You pull from the top. Now, you know, before we pull from the bottom here to the top, but we want to now get the target, the extension. It's called extension. So what you do is you come to the top and you pull it down. So now we now have extension. This is the extension. You can see 1.272. So that's why I was saying in the group that my target was at 105 points. I think 105.4, something. If you go and check the group, you will see it there. So that's how I was able to know that price was going to get here. And you see that price got here and it came back. So that is just trading for you. Simple as ABC. You don't need to make it complex, you know, in any way. Let's go back to where I drew those uptrend and then downtrends so that I can show you. Now, we identified this as an uptrend and this as a downtrend. No, so how do we now draw the trend line? Like I said, if you want to draw a trend line here, you just come from the bottom here, the lowest low, connect it to this particular point, which is the next low, and you pull. You pull. So now, another thing that once you can draw trend line like that, you will know when an uptrend is about to change to a downtrend. You can see that when we drew the line, you can see that price was bouncing off this trend line, was bouncing off it. But when it got to this particular point, what did it do? It broke it. So anytime you draw a trend line like this, and you see price that was going up, come down to break the trend line, that is a warning sign that something is about to happen. So, and when it now comes down and you see that it breaks the next low, or the last low, the previous low, it breaks it and it forms a new low, automatically it has changed from being an uptrend to a downtrend. So that is just the simple way of identifying trends. So now what I'm not going to, and this is also what we call price action. This, what I drew here, is just price action. Anytime, what you should also know is that anytime price goes up, right, and comes down and goes up to break the previous low, there is definitely going to be a retracement. That one is a law. There's definitely going to be a retracement. Now, I'm going to show you something now. If you now draw a line, you can see, look at this high here, and look at this low, and look at another high here. That is telling me something. If you draw, let's draw a line there, and you'll see something. Okay, sorry. Let me draw a line there, and I will show you something. We are drawing a line to touch this top and to touch this bottom. So just draw the line like that. So now you can see that price went here, came down, went up, came back down to retest. So this has now become, here is a resistance. This line, this horizontal line that I just drew now, shows that this is a resistance. And when price went up, the resistance became what? It became support. That is very, very important. So that tells me, and and if you look at it, you see that when I drew that, price went up and came back down, price came back to test this point again. So this particular line is what we call a key level. If you see price do this, let me draw it very well so that if you see price do something like this, it's called key level. And key levels are also very important in trading. If you can identify a key level, anytime price, you can see that this is support here, this is resistance, this is resistance. I don't know if you understand. Do we understand how to identify support and resistance? If price is going, okay, if price is going up and it hits a particular point and price comes down, that particular point that price starts coming down is called the resistance. And if it goes up and it comes down and it bounces off that same line, it becomes a support. So if in future price now does this, I'm showing you how to enter trades, because once you can identify all these things, you enter trades safely and you will not even be bothered whether you're going to lose money or not. So now let's assume price does this. Price starts going up from here. It just changed its mind. I don't know why. It just starts going up. Once I see this and price gets to this point, what am I going to do? I know definitely that price will come back to this line. Because why? Because it has just broken a high. Previous high has been broken, and we have what? A new high. So definitely price would start coming down. So when price starts coming down, what do? I look for how to buy at this particular point. I look for how to buy. And how do I look for how to buy? You look for what we call confirmation. You can look for a candlestick pattern, a bullish engulfing candlestick, a pin bar, and at times, I look for harmonic patterns. I think anybody that's on this call should please note that as well. Harmonic pattern. You should know those patterns. There are bullish harmonic patterns, and we have bearish harmonic pattern. If I go to this side, I'll show you one now.
Please show us an example of harmonic.
Yeah, that's what I'm. Now, this is a harmonic pattern. These two triangles they are seeing is a harmonic pattern. And I'll explain to you what happened here. You see, at times, when price starts coming down, I told you that anytime price comes down and breaks a previous low, now this is a low here. And you can see that price came down to break that low. So what happened? Anytime a previous low or a previous high is broken, what happens? price retraces. You can see that price started retracing, you know, to
I
come
don't
and
know whether you can make it bold again.
I can make it what?
Make it bold so that we can see clearly.
Okay, sorry about that.
Mr. Timothy, you're the one that will do it by yourself. Put your hand on your screen and zoom out. Zoom out by yourself.
Yeah, it will make it bigger for you.
Yes, from your own end, tap your screen.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've done it.
Okay.
I've done it.
So you can see that when price broke this low here, what happened? It started retracing, right? So now what harmonic patterns does is that if you don't know what harmonic pattern is, it traps people into believing that there's a trend continuation. Do you get? But at times the trend is not going to continue immediately, and I'll show you why. Now, you know that I said that if a previous low is broken, price retraces. You can see price retracing here. Some people will be like, oh, since price retraced and we have a new low, lower than this low, that means price will keep going down. What would they do? They will sell here and think price will keep going down. But you can see that price got to this point and started going back up. So what will it do? If you have already sold here and it now comes back up, you are already trapped in the trade. So there's nothing you can do. Do you get? But people that know harmonics, what we'll just do is that we'll pull our Fibonacci. Once I see that price retraced to this point, I'll just pull my Fibonacci. So once I pull it, where did the retrace point stop? I mean, stop. It stopped at 0.618. So I don't want to confuse anybody here, but Fibonacci, harmonic patterns, they have various types. We have the BAT, we have the Gatli, we have the Jumbo Gatli, we have the Crab. We have so many harmonic patterns, but this particular one, once you see a retracement to 0.618, you can see that this point here, this line is 0.618. Once you see that, I immediately know that price might form a Gatli. So I know that price will come back down and go to 0.786. That is a Gatli. So, and you see what happened when it got here. Price started coming down, but now went up. I will tell you why price did that. You see, when price got here, you can see that I drew this Gatli. The reason why I drew the Gatli was that I knew that there will be a slight retracement, because I remember Mr. Aderemi was saying that we should always do our analysis, from a high time frame. What the high time frame does for you is that it's just like you now. As you are sitting in your sitting room now, you want to know what is going on in your neighborhood. You now take a drone and put a camera, a drone that has a camera. You now fly your drone. You know that your drone will show you everywhere in your environment that has people that have light, people that you will see everything clearly. So that is what the high time frame does for you. So now I took this trade, but I knew that it was still going to go up. So what I did was that I just took this retracement and I got out here. Why did I do that? I'll show you now. I did that because if you come to the weekly time frame on BTC, let's go to the daily time frame. I sent a message in the group that what we saw was just a retracement. So on BTC, on the daily time frame, price is bullish. And I'll show you why price is bullish now. So, and if price is bullish on a daily time frame, you shouldn't be selling on 1 hour. Do you get what I'm saying? So what I did there was actually a risk. It's not a good way to trade at all. I just wanted to, to take advantage of that slight retracement. But the best thing you need to do if you want to make money in trading is just follow the trend. And how do you determine the trend, or how do you follow the trend? You come to a high time frame, which is the daily time frame now. If you look at the daily time frame, what did I tell you? How do you identify trades that go up? Trades that form higher highs and higher lows. This is a high. This is a higher high. This is a higher high. Now, this is a low. This is a higher low, right? This is a low. This is a higher low here. This is another higher low. So that tells me that BTC is still bullish. So I don't have any business selling at all. Yes, I don't have any business selling. This is a low. This is a higher low. This is another higher low. And this is another higher low. Apart from that, you can see that price goes up straight, comes down small. That is a strong trend. Now, look at, check this one. You can see that price came down here, right? Went up, almost getting to this place, came down. This is a downward trend, right? But this trend is not a strong trend. But when you see long candles, it shows you that the trend is small. And when the trend is small, it shows you that the bulls are actually seriously in charge. So now, that is why I said this particular PTC we are still bullish. So since I've identified that, I now went back. Though I missed a trade here. There's a trade I wanted to take, but I missed it. I will show you now. So I now went back and I was like, after I got out here, I saw price started going up. Look at, I drew a line here. This line that you're seeing, you should see a key level there.
Yes.
Look at, this is a resistance. This is resistance. This is support. This is support. This is support here. Support. This is resistance. Now, you can see price coming back to the support. So now, if you buy here, if price comes down to this point and you buy with good confirmation, you will make money. If price gets here, right, and you buy with good confirmation, price will go up. Most likely, I'm not saying, nobody knows exactly what is going to happen in the market, but most likely, price would go up. So now I will show you where I missed a trade. There's a trade I wanted to take here on 15 minutes time frame. See, price went up. I wanted to buy here, but I don't know. I think I got engaged in something. I didn't remember, and you can see that price went up. If you had bought here, right, I'll show you where the target will be using the Fibonacci. Now, let's assume that I have bought here. I want to know where the target will be. You pull from here down. Now, this is at 0.5. So my target should be 0.618. So most likely, price will still get to this particular point. Most likely, if all things being equal, if there's no news or anything, price should be able to get to this particular point. So that is how to identify trends, and that is how that's how I use my Fibonacci tools. I don't know if anybody has any question, or if there's any confusion anywhere, so that I can, elaborate more or talk more and anything. But this is how I take my trades.
That is this one is too low.
I don't know if I had confused people, but that is how I take my trades. Let me just show you how I take my trades. I just come to daily time frame, like I said before, or weekly time frame. Let's go to weekly, and I'll show you how to just identify
the point that we can enter tonight.
Okay,
apart from
what we can enter tonight. Before I say that, I will show you something here now. That's the reason why I said that we are bullish. Now, anytime you see, if you look from here, you will see a bullish engulfing candlestick pattern here. And you see that this particular pin bar, this point, is almost testing the top here. It's almost testing this top. So anytime a previous high is broken, we have a new high, there's always a retracement. So this is the retracement that we had. And we had a good pin bar. People that bought from here have made a lot of money. So now we can also see strong candlesticks. Once you see strong candlesticks like this, most likely, this level is going to be broken. And if this level is broken, let me just show you what might most likely happen. Let's assume this level is broken. What are we going to see? We will definitely see a retracement back to this level. Sorry. We'll see a retracement back to this particular area before price starts going up.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Anyway, this is so me every day, me I dey get them.
So it's just simple. You don't need to. One thing about trading is don't make anything complex for yourself. And if you look at my screen, you will see that I don't have indicators. I don't use them. I only use indicators to confirm my trade at times. And what do I use them for? I use them for what is called divergence. I use them for divergence. Let me see if I can see any divergence here. And I use them for what is called divergence. And divergence confirms your, okay, I think I can see one here. Divergence confirms your trades. Now look at, I think this is a good divergence. If you look here, this particular point, you will see that price, I mean, it was oversold here, right? And you can see that price went up and came back down here. And this, I don't know how to explain the divergence, but let me just use line to show you. Price from here, price did this. You can see that price is going up. And this one, I think price came down. So that is what I use. I don't know if you understand that. That's what I use my indicators for. So this divergence tells me that you can see that this particular point is higher than this particular point, which shows that this is actually really oversold and price is about to start going up. And it also shows on the charts. So just read about divergence. If you Google it, Google divergence, using your indicators for divergence is also a very good way to confirm your trades. So that's it. I don't know if anybody has any question. If I have confused people, please let me know.
No. Well done, sir. Well done, sir. In fact, our mentor, our boss, Mr. Aderemi, it's good you have people like this in your team. So that the man that is teaching us, you are resting. You are resting. Okay. So what are we asked for? Because even through our time since we started last year or so, there have been no training on the using trading view. You know, Mr. Aderemi is trying, but there has been no detailed video or training, a long training that will contain all this. What are we out for? What are we asked for, sir, tonight? Because there are some people here, some newbies here who just started. Can you give us a video, a short video that starts the trading view right from the downloading of the app, from the basis now? I just give us a video that will contain just these two indicators, the Fibonacci and the trend lines, how to use them to confirm the price action. I know it will take
fast. Oh, we have forgotten. Don't worry.
Sir?
I'll watch video. I'll watch this video. There's a lot of points that has been given out in this training because it's so detailed. What we are asking for, we have done a video on it before. And I know you always attend our meetings. You always, when you are available, which I appreciate. We have done a video on how to set up trading view from the scratch. We've done it.
Yeah, we did it up to like a level 2. Abi, how do I say it now? /2. Then we did not continue.
Yes, don't mind me. Some other thing will just head. We will diverge. Don't worry, we'll work on it. I will note it down. Don't worry.
Okay, sir.
All right. So this is another, I saw something here too that I just quickly want to talk about. You can see that price, this is XRP USDT. And I've actually been trading it. So this one is another, this formation, what I drew now is another, it's called a triangle. You can see that price got to this point, came down here, and price has not broken this level and is at this point, and we are seeing a red candle. So most likely, price might come back down here, right? Before it goes up again, before it goes up. So this means that this particular coin is what we call trapped in a triangle. And what usually happens when you see a triangle like this, you can see a high and a higher high. How did I draw the trend line? You just connect the high with this next high, and you draw this. Now you can see that this thing forms something like a triangle. So when you see this, it's just telling you that people are gathering momentum. The market is gathering momentum to bust out. It's just like when you put a hose in a tap and you turn on the tap and you now hold the mouth of the hose. You know that the water will be trying to force itself out. But when you now release the water will just go out. So that's what is about to happen in this particular point. And so anytime you see price trapped in a triangle like this, what I do is I wait for it. It might come back down here. Then I wait for it to bust out. Probably, most likely, higher than this high. I wait for it to bust out higher than that high. Sorry, let me expand it so that you can see. I wait for it to bust out higher than this high, go up. I will not take it as it's going up. I won't take the trade, but I will wait until it comes back. So if it retraces and it tests this particular point, I will look for opportunity to buy here. Because why? Because this is a resistance. And this resistance has turned to what? Support here. So if I draw a line there, you will see what I mean. So this resistance, and if you take prices, if you take trades at key levels, is very, very important. You will have good results. So this is the high. This is a new high. Price is retracing to test this previous high. I will look for how to buy from here. So that's how I trade all these things. It's just for you to identify all these things. It will get to a level where once you open a chart, you will see all these things. Do you get? Like the harmonics that I was talking about. If you see any pattern that forms a W, any, what do you call it? I don't know what's wrong with this thing that is not. If you see any pattern that forms something like this, right? Any price action that forms something like this. What's wrong with this? Sorry, I'm having issues with this, If you see any pattern that forms a W like this, this is called a harmonic pattern. And since it's a W, it is bearish. Okay. If you see anyone that forms an M, anyone that forms an M like this.
Okay, all those harmonics are all those head and shoulder.
No, yeah, it's part of it. Head and shoulder is part of it. Head and shoulder is a reversal pattern. For example, let's say price has been going up and is about to reverse and start coming down. Head and shoulders is used to confirm that particular price action. What I mean is, let's say price is going up like this. Sorry, I hope I can quickly draw it so that we can identify it. And it reaches this resistance, right? So head and shoulders is, what I do is, some people will take it from this. This is the neck now. This is the head. So this is this particular point is the neck. But what I do is that you can see that price was going up, reached this particular point, and let's assume it started coming back down. I wait for price to break this particular low. So once it breaks that particular low, I enter at the right shoulder.
You still come down again.
Yes, so that come down.
Distance
So
again.
you sell at this particular point.
Yeah.
So that's head and shoulders pattern for you. So you can see that price was going up. And I told you in the first trend line, first, what do you call it? Trend that I drew, that if you see price going up and you see it come down to give you a low, lower than the previous low, it has changed from being an uptrend. It's about to start coming down. So you just wait for it to retrace and you place your sell here and you make money. So that's just it. I'm sorry, I don't think I can find any, I can't really, for now, I can't really find anything that we can take now. But if I see, I will send it to the group. I'll send it to the group.
Sorry, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
The way you are analyzing BTC now,
Yes.
and you are predicting, can
Yes.
you analyze any other coin and also predict?
Yes, I will show
any
you now.
altcoin? Can you boast on any altcoin and analyze like this and predict
Give me one.
accurately?
Give me one. Let's go there.
No, I'm just asking anyone you
Do SVG.
because BTC is
Nero.
the determinant of the market.
Okay, let's go to Nero, right?
Yes.
I don't know how to delete this. Mr. Aderemi, can you help me?
Sir?
These yellow lines here, I don't know how to delete it. I don't know how it even came.
We are using the Zoom annotations.
Okay.
Click that, not anything like pencil-like button on your screen.
Pencil-like, okay. No, I can't.
I think you're using laptop, Abby.
Yes, I am. Anyway,
very...
let's use it like that. I'll manage. Wow.
Okay.
Wow, this thing has pumped now. So you see, in this particular point, this is a Nero is bullish. It's bullish because you can see, I've even analyzed it before. You can see that this is support. Now, how do you analyze? You come here. We are in weekly time frame, by the way. So let's start from this point. Let's identify the trend. Price came down here, went up, came down here, went up, came down to this point, right? And what happened? I drew a trend line. And this trend line is a bullish trend line. You can see that price was hitting it and was coming down. So what happened? Price broke the trend line here and started going up. Now, this is our previous high. This is our previous high. And we have a new high here. So this tells me that price has stopped being bearish, and that's why it started going up. So price has started going up. So this is just a bullish, bullish trend. So what do we do? Let's go to daily time frame and see what's happening there. Okay, let's go to 4 hour. This is also a bullish. So what you do here is this. Now, price got to this point, came back down, and is going up. We have to wait. You know, I told you that anytime price breaks this particular, it breaks a previous high, there's going to be a retracement. This retracement might not be much because we have long candles. So anytime you have long candles like this, the retracement is usually not deep. It will not be a deep retracement. It might be it might not even retrace again from here, but let's assume it just retraces up to this point. So what I'll do is, if I see a retracement to this point, because what I always tell people is that always have a plan. If you know price action, you always have a plan, because I know price action and I know that when any previous high is broken, there's going to be a retracement. So I will assume that, okay, let's say that price is going to retrace up to this point. So what do I do? Sorry. I use my Fibonacci tool and I draw from the previous low to the new high. So let's assume, and this line that I drew is at 0.382. So the target is going to be 1.618. I know it because I've mastered all those lines. Any any retracement, when price goes up and it retraces to 236, 382, 0.5, 618, the next target is going to be, the next target above is going to be 1.618. So how do we get that? Let's delete this. So to get the target, we pull from the top. You know, to get the retracement, you pull from the bottom. But to get your target, you pull from the top of the trend to the bottom. Where is 1.618? Here. So narrow, all things being equal, might get to this particular point.
And what's the price there? That place. What's the price?
Yeah, it's at let's say
0.008.
0.0089750 thereabout.
That's the price I predicted to the person in that time. I said it's going to get that place.
So that's it. Because it's a strong trend, and when you have strong trends and you have long candles, the pullback is usually not that deep. And if we don't see a deep pullback, then that means the extension where it's going to go is going to be far and it's going to be fast. So that's just my thoughts on narrow. So before I can enter this narrow, let's go to a smaller time frame. Sorry. Let's go to a smaller time frame and let me see what's going on there. So we have identified now that narrow is bullish. So we now go to a smaller time frame and look for opportunities to buy. Let's go to 1 hour. Oh, this is now good. Okay, I can predict something here now. So now we can see support. This is support here. How did I identify it? You can see that price got here and was bouncing up. It couldn't go until this long green candle. And what are we seeing? We're seeing price retrace. So now if I see on a 15-minute time frame, if I see a bullish, if I see a bullish pattern, a bullish candlestick formation or a confirmation around this area, I will buy. For example, if I see a bullish engulfing candlestick, I see a pin bar, I see anything here, I will buy. So, and our prediction is that particular point that I said on 1.618, which is 0.0088750, right?
Yeah.
So that's it. So, but make sure that you are very careful because price might just come down. But if price gets here and you see a good bullish engulfing, what I will do is I'll put my stop loss here. I'll put my stop loss here so that I don't lose much in case it goes against me, because nobody is right. Nobody can be 100%. So I put my stop loss here and I make sure that this particular, what I'm losing here is no more than $3, $4. That's what I do. It shouldn't be more than $3, $4. So that if it hits $3, $4, I don't even bother. I go to the next trade. But if it goes up, then all well and good. All right. So I'm going to be keeping my eye on this.
Okay, thank you so much. Really appreciate you, and continue to increase your wisdom. Amen. And I believe it is this voice and the desire of the other people in the call. Will you like us to be bringing once in a while? It's a very busy person. No, you're supposed to be paying $100 per session. No,
why not? Why not? I'm available.
What is giving us is top-notch trainings. Me, I've learned so many things. Thank God that I'm even learning it. So if you want him to be in our next call by Friday, type yes. If I get 5 years minimum. 5 years minimum. Type yes if you want us to bring him on Friday. Type yes should not be too hard for to type. Oh, type yes, now your finger. please let us be on the same page. But what is teaching us is very highly valuable information is teaching us. If some of all that requested for me to give us that ebook, most of these things is saying some of them are there. So that's why I was able to
Of course.
go with. So our time is fast steps. Don't make you not go sleep here tonight to for us in Nigeria.
So in addition to that, maybe you can discuss together, see how you can just give a short video from the basis, please, sir.
He has done that one before now. I used to send his video to the group. Maybe you are not following. There are some videos he has done in the group. See, this kind of training is doing, there is nothing like shorts. I'm telling you, shorts. They don't do short things for, or else they'll be breaking it into sessions. That is why my night was.
It has to be detailed, because even this one, I'm not even happy with because I couldn't really go deep into what I wanted to do. I was just trying to make sure that I was within, so that people can understand, or else.
Yeah. I have to go too advanced. People don't go flow again. No.
So that's it.
So don't worry. Let us.
But we'll try. We'll try.
So thank God that people have requested they want to see you in our next training on Friday. So there are some areas that will simplify for people before we'll continue on Friday. So thank you everyone for tonight's meeting. I think we have been so blessed tonight. I know some of us don't want to leave, but we have to leave. Oh, time don't go. This to level. So thank God I've recorded it.